Good morning and welcome to Alamance Community College. We are going to hang out for just a minute or so to make sure that all of the students can get in. We want to welcome you, and I cannot remember if we have set up the poll, but if you would put in the chat box, if you need assistance registering today, we are here and standing by, and we'll be willing to make sure you get registered and get some classes or the classes that you need for fall semester. So if you need help, you can put that in the chat box. We have all of our department heads on hand, and they will be willing to help you, and we will be in breakout rooms later today. So if you need assistance, you can privately message me, or you can message Renard Spratling. He's also monitoring our chat today. And here come the students that had not gotten the link. So we will hang out for just one more minute. All right, we will begin. We are recording this session today so that we can share it with those students who did not attend or were unable to attend. So I wanted to let you know that. And we want to welcome you to fall 2021 at Alamance Community College, and we are excited that you are here. Okay, we are still admitting students as fast as I can, and I'm going to let others do that while I talk. So welcome. We want to introduce you to the Business, Arts, and Sciences departments. Our division is comprised of a lot of different departments. We have accounting, business administration, cybersecurity, education, information technology, medical office administration, and university transfer. And within university transfer, we have a variety of degrees that we'll be talking about today. So that is our departments, or are our departments. In accounting and business administration, you can earn the following degrees and programs: accounting and finance, business administration, general business administration concentration, human resources management concentration, and marketing concentrations. Today, part of what we're doing is introducing you to our entire division and letting you know everything that we have available. So as I go through these degrees, we hope that that may spark an interest with you. You may have questions, and you can join those department heads in their breakout rooms. The department head for accounting and business administration is Sherry Crofts. This is one time the college professor is going to say, pull out your cell phone. If you need information, here it is, and I will be showing everyone's information on the screen, and you can take a picture. So here is Sherry Crofts. In information technology, we have degree programs in business support concentration, computer programming and development, software and web development, and system security or cybersecurity. And that department is our co-host today, Renard Spratling. And here is his contact information. And he will be joining his students in a breakout room as well. In education, we have the Associate in Arts Teacher Preparation, Associate in Science Teacher Preparation. We are also beginning to work on a collaboration with Elon University for Teachers. We also have an Early Childhood Associate's degree and an Early Childhood Transfer Licensure degree. That department head is Chris Ketchum, and here is her contact information. In office administration, we have general office administration and legal office administration. And that department head is Kim McKenzie. And Kim is online today, and she'll be happy to answer all of your questions. And there is her contact information. And then we have university transfer. In university transfer, what you can see here is that our courses transfer to all of the universities in North Carolina, the state universities, and to private colleges across the state. And here's just a smattering of where our students go. We have several degrees. The most basic degree is our Associate in Arts degree. We have an Associate in Engineering, an Associate in Fine Arts Music, and an Associate in Fine Arts Visual Arts, and an Associate in Science. Our university transfer coordinator is Dr. Ben Shirley. And here is his contact information. He could not make it today. I am Sherry Singer, and I'm actually the department head for social and behavioral sciences, and I will be in the breakout room for university transfer. Now, within university transfer, we have a variety of departments, and I wanted to try to help you understand how different department heads fit and where we fit within the college. The Communications, English, and Fine Arts department includes art, communication, English, humanities, and music. Not pictured on the screen would include ethics, philosophy, Spanish. So there are a variety of courses that are included in the Communication, English, and Fine Arts department. That department is headed by Clara Vega. And here is her contact information. If you would like to talk more with Dr. Vega, she will be in a Spanish information session. And so when you see that breakout room, if you're interested in speaking with her about fine arts, or if you need information in Spanish, she will be available at the end of this program. For mathematics, engineering, and physical sciences, that department includes chemistry, engineering, mathematics, geology, and physics. And that department head is Muriel Conlon. She will be on with me during university transfer. So if you have questions, not only about those courses, but perhaps about the Associate in Science or the Associate in Engineering, she will be there to help answer your questions. And then there's me. I'm over the Social and Behavioral Sciences program. In my department is history, political science, psychology, and sociology. And imagine that, there I am. I encourage you, if you need any help, to reach out to any of the department heads that you see here today, and to message us if you need any help. Now, some exciting news. It's orientation. I'm staring at a little tiny camera. We want to make this as exciting as possible. So there are a few courses that have no textbook or no code costs this fall. And the list is growing, but the ones that I can guarantee for sure are American History 1 and 2, Ancient History, North Carolina History, General Psychology, and Public Speaking. You may have heard of that as COM 231. So if you have signed up for those courses, or if you do sign up for those courses, there is no textbook cost, no code cost. You will walk in or enter the class and not have to buy anything. Now, I will add that sometimes when we have classes where there's no textbook cost, students sometimes think that means they don't need to read. You will need to read. These courses are going to be the same as if they had a textbook, but there is no cost to you. Now, how do you read your schedule? I'm going to make the assumption that most of you have registered, or you will, and I want to talk you through how to do that. As you see up on the screen up here, you see quick links, and this is our ACC website. So you'll go to www.alamancecc.edu, and here are the quick links. And then you can click on self-service. And when you log into self-service, it will show you your schedule. So how do you read that? If you see a class that's an X, that means that it is totally 100% seated and there's no online component. There are very few of those right now, COVID issues, but if you see an X, totally seated. If you see a course that's got a W, that is a seated course, meaning you do need to come to campus and you do need to sit in that class. But there will also be a Moodle supplement, and there will be some work online that you do need to do. If you see an H, that is a hybrid. And that means that the course is half online and half seated. So you might be in the class for an hour and a half a week, and then you go home and do some work. If you see an E, that is potentially, or that is a totally online class. In most of the classes, you'll probably see your instructor lecturing some, but your work will be done solely online. And if you see an EL, this is a little unique. It will be EL, and then it will have a time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That means that at that time on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you actually would log on to Zoom like you have now, and you would be in class with your instructor. So it's a way for students to have individual interaction, to have live interaction, but to still be remote. What we've tried to do is to create this variety of options so that you can pick what you're comfortable with, what works for you, what works with your schedule. And so as you keep that in mind, just notice that there's a variety of options and a variety of ways for you to attend class. Now, with that, class times and when do your classes start? Just as we've created a variety of sections for you with different formats for you to learn in, we also have different start times. All right, regular classes that you are signed up for start on August the 16th. If you have a class that is a 41 or a 40-something section, it is an 8-week course and it starts on August the 16th. If you see a section and it's a 51, it starts October 10th. So let's say you registered for 12 contact hours this fall and you are breezing through it and you have no trouble whatsoever and you're bored. All right, you're doing great and you're bored and you want to take one extra course up to October the 10th, you could still register for one of these 8-week courses. So if you want to get ahead, if you're doing well and you're comfortable, you can still take those courses. We also have 12-week courses. So if you see any classes with the 80s section numbers, those start on September the 14th. So really what we have is rolling enrollment so that you and anyone you know can take classes and enter at various times. And then we have a variety of formats. We also have engaging faculty. And sometimes that's hard for you to see on Zoom. It's very hard in the orientation, but we want to engage with you and we want to do things with you and be as engaged as possible. So I would encourage you throughout the semester, regardless of what format your class is in, to connect with your faculty member. I think they'd like to hear from you and they'd like to get to know you. Now, a lot of our classes are online for a lot of reasons that you know about, COVID being a big one. So we wanted to talk about how an online class works and about your attendance. It's really kind of like a state rule. You must enter classes. If your class starts on August the 16th, you need to get into Moodle that day and do work. In an online class, your attendance equals work submitted. So just logging onto that class does not count as attendance. You actually have to turn some work in. We have to know you're live out there and you're not just floating in the Ethernet of the internet. So you have to turn work in. If you do not turn any work in that first week, you'll be dropped because we assume you're not coming. And we have to make that assumption and we are required to drop you. So it's very important that first week of class, regardless of when your class starts, that you get online and that you do some work and that we know you're there. When I began planning for this, one of the things I asked the faculty is, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to tell students? And these are their study tips. So as you begin navigating college and as you begin taking your college classes next month, these are the things our faculty want you to know. It's important to read before you come to class. You won't always understand the reading. I tell students, sometimes the reading is supposed to drive you a little crazy. So when you come to class, you go, oh, that's what that meant. We want the reading, we want you to read ahead of time so that when we talk, it all connects and clicks together. Obviously, you need to come to class. You need to be there. And we want you to actively take notes. Even if you're on a Zoom lecture, we want you to take notes. If we record a lecture for you, we want you to take some notes. Listen. Spend some time studying. Spend some time working with the material. Create a study group. Get with your peers, find peers that you can work with and work together. Create a chat group. If you don't want to create a study group, create a texting group or a chat group. Ask questions. Keep a calendar and check your email every day. Now, email. We need you to use your Access email account. One, that tells me that I am communicating with you and not your mom or your dad or your little sister or brother who wanted to, embarrass you by emailing the instructor something silly. It shows that you and I are communicating. Also within Moodle, it emails all of the announcements to your Access email account. So make sure you're using the college email account. It's very important. Now, we're going to take a break. And so far, because I've covered quite a bit of information, do you have any questions about what I've covered? And you can type those in the chat box and Mr. Spratling will read them out for me. And if I can't answer it, there are other people on the line that might.
All right. So we had one question that I've already answered about O1 sections. So the explanation was that sections 01 through 39, those are regular 16-week sections that start August the 16th and go through December 14th. We had another question that came in. Do online classes entail with certain meeting times on Zoom, or is it a regular online course where the materials are posted and there is no Zoom lecture?
Okay, if you have an EL section, EL, you have to go to the Zoom. Your attendance will be counted. You'll be counted present by logging on to Zoom. There are very few of those. There's a sociology. I know there's some history and some psychology, and I think there are a few others. So if you have EL, you have to be on Zoom at that time. If it is a regular E-class, it is traditional online, and all of the materials are put up there for you.
Okay. We have another one. Do you recommend students get laptops for note-taking in class, or will that only be needed for certain courses?
I would answer that two ways. One, I think that depends on the student. If you have a student who is a much faster typer than a writer, I would say that might be needed. But for the most part, students just need a good old-fashioned notebook and a pen.
And I'll add to that, if there is a need for a laptop and the student or the family or whatever the situation is not able to afford one, even if it's a requirement for a class, students are able to borrow or check out laptops from our library or LRC. Another question. I tried creating an Access account, but the website didn't work.
If you have your ID number and it is not working, you can open what's called a help desk ticket. And I think that's right below where you sign up for your Access email account. If you continue to have some trouble, I would reach out to your advisor or to someone in student services. Let's verify that you typed your birth date in there correctly. Every once in a while, that's where I see a problem, is that somehow like a number got switched. But if you continue to have trouble, let one of us know and we can help you.
All right. And I am also putting that direct link. I'm sorry, I sent it to the wrong direct link in the chat for where you can go for issues with your account. All right, let's see. Got a couple more. And I'll take this one. Is there any way for me to not have to change email passwords every 90 days? No, that is a standard process you'll see in many organizations, companies, institutions. That's just a safety measure. to help keep accounts more secure. And that's something that you will see quite often on many different types of accounts that you'll have to create. But that's just to keep your account safe, keep the college safe. And it is a practice. And there's plenty of tips and suggestions to help passwords be memorable. When will we be given the login information for Moodle?
Okay. If you go to www.alamanccc.edu, go to the main webpage and you go to quick links, there will be a link to Moodle. However, we do not turn our classes on until August the 16th or the day that they start. That's a rule. So I can't let you in early. You can only work during the scheduled time of the course. Normally, those classes come on about 10 a.m. in the morning on the first day of class. I usually come into my office and at 7:30, somebody's already called me that they haven't started. What we have to do is they run up what's called a batch report and they put in anyone who registered on the Friday before and they make sure Moodle is working smoothly and then they open the floodgates and they turn it all on. And it's usually all on by 10 a.m. Sometimes 8 a.m., but 10 a.m. is a safe bet.
Okay. Can access codes for math classes be used on Chromebooks? Thanks.
Ms. Conlon, can you answer that?
They should be able to. If you do have any problems, I would, you can let me know or let your instructor know and we will help you. We'll get it figured out, but they should work.
When will we find out what books we will need?
You can look on the website. What I would say is the first day of class is usually your best bet. I know that some students want to get those early, but I recommend waiting. Your instructors are not going to come in that first day and expect you to have read. But by the end of that first week, you should be ready to go. But I would say listen to your instructors, see what they've got to say, and that kind of thing. The bookstore does have a list and they can help you if you want to go in early. So if you're trying to avoid a rush, they are open the next couple of weeks and you can pop in early and you can actually order online and then just pick up.
Also in self-service, you're able to see your instructors' names and you may want to reach out to your instructor. Some students do that on occasion.
Yep.
All right, let's see. They're still coming in. Will we be able to access this orientation again if we want to rewatch this?
As long as Mr. Spratling hit the record button, we can.
Yes, the recording is started and was started for the duration of the meeting, so it will be shared. Timeline, I don't have an exact timeline, but I actually probably as early as tomorrow, we should be able to get that out and it should be posted on our website.
And I had to tease Mr. Spratling because normally a button will pop up and tell me that the recording had started and it didn't this time. So I was a little nervous.
Yeah, it's on. Can we look over the slide with the different class variations again, in person, online, etc.?
You sure can. Here you go.
All right. Another one, do we need to attend any type of orientation for classes on Zoom or Moodle?
You do not, but I would recommend a couple of things. There will be an orientation, a first day class activity that is a Moodle orientation that you are required to do. It is in each course, so you'll have to do it multiple times. And I recommend that you do that. And then each instructor does their class a little different. And so they will have perhaps an orientation for their course. And I'll just tell you what I do. In my classes, I have a welcome video that I've recorded, and then in an online class, and then I have an orientation video where I talk students through my class, and I'll actually get up on Zoom and record it, and I'll drop and drag through my online course and tell students what they need. So each instructor will have something just a little bit different.
All right. And there was a suggestion from one of our department heads. If you do purchase your books early, if they're physical books or anything that comes shrink wrapped, you may want to hold off from opening that until your class starts and you confirm that you have the correct materials. Just in case it is not the correct materials, you can get your full refund or exchange. So just hold off if something you purchase physically from the bookstore is shrink wrapped. Just wait until the class starts to confirm that.
I would also add, keep your receipt. If you have to purchase a code for a class, a lot of times the access code, the thing that you actually need is at the bottom of your receipt. So one of the smartest things you can do is keep the receipt and then pull out your cell phone immediately and take a photograph of it. Maybe two.
Excellent. We are loving the questions coming in. Still got a few more. 4 of my classes use the Cengage Unlimited. Do I need to purchase it for every class or just one time? I'll take that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you only need to purchase that one time. Purchasing Cengage Unlimited gives you access to all Cengage books and online resources. So you just need to purchase that one time, and that should save you a bunch of money, just as the car insurance commercials say. All right. And the link was posted in the chat for the bookstore, so thanks for that. What are the library hours?
They vary. The library is usually open from around 7:30 in the morning until 8-ish at night. They close on Friday afternoons, 4 or 5 o'clock, and sometimes they have Saturday hours. So it is open a lot.
And
So,
as you see on the screen as well, under quick links, there's a link to the library's webpage. So you can confirm the library hours. All right, if we have just e-classes, are we able to work through the course at our own pace and potentially finish the course early?
no, not really. Most instructors, we need you to attend class on a regular basis. And part of an e-course is having a discussion with your classmates. So you're actually working and talking with students. So I'll give you again the example of my course because that's what I know the most about. But students would get online on, let's say, Sunday night, and they could answer a question. The initial post is due by Wednesday, and then they need to reply before Monday morning to that post. So you do need to be engaged each week. Now, in my course, there's a lot of work that is open, and you can do some work ahead, but I'll open your exams a certain week, and you'll take those exams at a certain time. You have certain assignments that are due at certain times, and there are faculty who make you do 1 week and make sure you understand that material before they open it up. I'm going to speak a little out of turn and say that I would assume in a math class that they want to make sure you've mastered A before you move to B. So they are not self-paced.
And keep in mind the attendance policy for online classes. You have to submit an assignment every week. So
Right.
if you did somehow happen to work ahead and stop submitting work for 2 weeks straight, then you would basically be dropped from the class for not attending. So keep that in mind as well. How do we know who our advisor is?
If you look on self-service, it will tell you who your advisor is, and it will give you their contact information. And I will go ahead and tell you that after tomorrow, faculty will be on a 2-week break. So we will be gone, and then we will come back, I think, August the 9th. And I will tell you up front that August the 9th, we are in faculty meetings all day long. So you probably would not get a reply from faculty until August the 10th. So if there's something you need, I recommend you email today or tomorrow, probably today. And then just know that we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Okay, question about registration. If we are having trouble registering our ACC account and we already have our class places, will we lose our place in our class because we can't register?
Register your email.
I'm not sure. I read it verbatim. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I read that verbatim. It sounds like, so maybe to clarify, maybe while the student can clarify in there, or restate the question in the chat. There's a difference in registration. If you're registered for a class, that means you actually have a seat in the class, and then you will get a confirmation that you're registered for the classes, and it would add to your tuition, and you actually have a place in the class. Sometimes in self-service, you can plan a class and it looks like it's on your schedule, but if it says planned, then you're not actually registered for it. But if you're registered for a class, you already have to have your account set up. So you won't lose that class unless there's a delay with your payment. And we have certain cutoff points where if a payment is not made, there's a purge period and students are removed from class. Other than that, if you're registered for a class, you're in the class and no problem. Let's see, how do we see what textbooks are needed? Yes, we covered that in the chat. There's a link to the bookstore and we can get that reposted. And we also mentioned that you can reach out to your instructor ahead of time, or it's really recommended you can wait until your classes start to confirm you have all the proper materials. But the bookstore for classes that have items listed in there, you can get that information from the bookstore. Is there a cafeteria?
I'll take that one. One day there will be. We took the opportunity to begin construction in our commons area. And so right now, 100% everything is under construction. Hopefully by November or December, that area will be finished and we will have kind of a mini cafeteria snack bar type area and wonderful seating. At the moment, we have a couple of drink machines and a snack machine. And the entire area is shut down due to construction. But we are looking forward to the new space because it's supposed to be beautiful.
Okay. How do we make an account on self-service?
Your self-service account is the same as your Moodle account and your Access email. Once you've established your Access email account, you can use those credentials to get into everything else.
If we are an out-of-state student, can we still apply for scholarships at ACC?
It is my understanding you can. Correct me if I'm wrong. The deadline was today or tomorrow. Does anybody know? Go ahead and apply, but I know that you need to do it soon. And if you go to the quick links, there's a financial aid link and there's a link for scholarships and you do an online application.
Ms. Singer, the deadline is July 25th.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ms. Brunel.
All right, so I don't know if you want to keep taking questions or move forward with the presentation and we can take some of these in the chat.
Let's move some of these. We'll take a few in the chat and then we'll give you a chance to ask some more questions. We want you to have a college experience here and to be involved. And I know that things are weird. We all know the word COVID and it's not a nice word, but we want you to have a good experience here. And so what we're doing is offering a variety of clubs. And there are more on campus than what I have listed here, but there is a history club. Sigma Psi is a psychology, sociology club. There is a math and physics club. There is Phi Theta Kappa, which is an honor society. And there is, I want to say like an information services club, cybersecurity. I can't remember the name of it. I've lost it, but there's several clubs that you can be involved in. Our clubs are award winning. We also participate in Skills USA, and here you see some of our winners. We have a variety of activities, and a lot of what we've planned for this fall is virtual because we didn't know what else to do. So I'm going to just share with you some of the things you can take advantage of. On September the 17th, we will have Constitution Day where we will talk about the Halifax Resolves, and there will be links sent out on campus for that. The history department is sponsoring historic trivia nights. Now, just for fun, we have historic sites log on to Zoom, and people log on and they do a show and tell and they hold up an artifact. What is it? And they describe it, and the first person that guesses wins a prize. And so we will be having 4 of those this fall. We usually have about 80 people attend. They're really well liked. We're going to have some pop-up takeaways. I know at least 2 or 3 of the clubs have planned to just have some bags sitting out. I'll give you a little hint. The History Club, again, I have to talk about what I know, has these lovely bags and these lovely stress balls and some other stuff. And so history students and people in the History Club will get an email, pop by Ms. Singer's office. The first 25 can get a pop-up bag. SGA does pop-up and takeaways. If you are interested in plants, for example, horticulture, and their horticulture department does that. So we'll have some things like that happening on campus throughout. We also believe in community engagement. And so obviously we have National History Day. We are the host for the Central Piedmont Regional National History Day competition. We also are the host for the Area Science Olympiad. And so we want to be involved. We want our students to be involved. We want to give you leadership opportunities, workplace skills. I know a student who worked National History Day 2 or 3 years ago went to interview for a job, and they said, have you ever manned a busy desk? And she answered very honestly, why, yes, I checked 250 students in the National History Day. So it gives you some credentials that you might have. And here you see one of our faculty working with area students. So we want to be involved with you. We want to give you opportunities, but we also want to be involved in the community. So those are just a sampling of what we do. So we do have a variety of academic activities. And before we go to breakout rooms, we'll take just a few more questions. So what have we got in the chat, Mr. Spratling?
All right, we were able to answer a few in the chat, but some outstanding questions. I have 3 advisors under my self-service. I'm not sure which one is the transfer student AA advisor.
Okay, if you would type that to Ms. Conlon, she can help you figure that out. Okay, so just privately message Ms. Conlon and she can look you up and help you figure that out.
Okay. Is class registration closed for the fall semester?
Oh, no, we will happily register you, and one of us will be happy to register you today. So if you would like to stay on, there is someone I'm sure who will help you and connect with you and register you today.
All right. When will we learn our schedules for the online classes?
When you log on that first day on August the 16th, you will have a syllabus in that course. And the course may be set up with dates. Each instructor does things a little different. So some people actually have the dates and the calendar pops up on Moodle. I have dates and I have a printable calendar you can print off. So you want to look for those things. And that is the biggest study skill tip I can provide you with today. If you are taking a large number of online classes, get a planner and then sit down with all of those calendars and merge them together on your planner so that you can keep up. My students in my class helped me create this very fancy printable calendar. And the first thing they said is, make sure you tell your students not to be intimidated by it. They wanted every little thing listed. And they said, don't be scared. This is just a way to keep up.
Okay. So I'll jump to the questions about the club, since that's where we were. Then we'll, if we have time, we can take a few more. Is there a specific place on ACC's website to get involved with campus clubs? And there was another related question. How do you sign up?
What I would recommend is you go to the website and go to student activities, and there'll be a list of clubs, and you can be interested there. And sometimes there's contact information. If you're in a class and that you know that department has a club, you can ask that advisor. For the clubs that you saw mentioned, you can contact me for the history club. You can contact Ms. Conlon for math and physics. Mr. Spratling can handle the information technology. I think there's a Rotaract club, correct, Ms. Crofts?
Right now, we do not have that, but if you are interested in business clubs, you can see me. As long as we have enough folks interested, that's something we're very interested in continuing. But certainly reach out to me if you have an interest in business or accounting clubs.
And then Mr. Nethery can handle Sigma Psi, but there are places online that you can look. I know that there's actually a gaming club. Clubs will start slowly in the fall as we come back. Everything kind of ground to a halt and we're all building back up. A lot of our students graduated, our leaders. So it's a great time for you to take up a leadership role and to participate. If you are in a history class, I can tell you that we will actually enter you in our Moodle supplement, so that we'll enter all of our history students so that you at least know what's happening while you're in our history course. Next question.
All right, did you want to just stick to the club questions and take some general questions later?
Let's do that. And maybe some of the general questions can be handled in a breakout room.
All right, yeah, there aren't any more club questions.
Can we really quickly, there've been some questions about today's 2 o'clock. Can you just let folks know what that's about and where they need to report today if they're interested in coming back?
Sure. At 2 o'clock today, you can come to the main campus. And I recommend parking in the front and then walking in under the canopy bridge. And to your left, when you walk in, will be our unit, will be all of business, arts, and sciences, all of our departments. And they'll be there to answer questions in person. There'll be someone there that can talk more about clubs. And there will be department heads who can just answer the basic questions you may have. Some of them may take you on a mini tour. Right now, we're under construction. So it'll be a mini tour, but you can at least see perhaps where the library is, where the bookstore is, and some of those key things. Okay, do we have any other questions?
There was a question, where in self-service can I find the information about who my advisor is?
Ms. Conlon, can you answer that? One of the other advisors. I can't pull self-service up while I'm on Zoom. Sorry, folks. I think Ms. Ketchum is looking for you right now.
And it looks like they said I figured it out.
Yeah, it's when you log in, it should tell you you're off to the side. I believe it's on the right side, right there with your name, what degree curriculum you're in, and who your advisors are.
All right, a couple of other quick ones about this afternoon. What entrance number do we go in, and is the in-person orientation mandatory or optional?
It is optional. You, as you come in on Jimmy Carr Road, you will take the second entrance, and then you can just park in the front.
All right, and I think that's it.
All right, so we're going to start with breakout rooms, and basically we have slides to help you figure out where you want to go. So our first breakout room is with Mrs. Crofts, and it is accounting and business information. So if you all want to go to that room.
All right, so everyone should be able to, you should see your, hold on one sec. You should, one sec, let me change one thing really quickly. All right. You should see the rooms on your screen, and you should be able to choose the room as they're called out.
Okay, so breakout room number 1 with Ms. Crofts. We will let you go. Oops.
Please wait to be assigned. All right.
I'm also not able to get in.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. All right. All right. So if you want to, whoever wants to go to the breakout room 1 for accounting and business, just let me know in the chat. This isn't going to work too well.
Okay, Renard, we will sort of wait
Yeah.
for you to give me the go ahead.
All right. Yeah, we're having some issues here. All right. Are any of the other moderators or co-hosts able to see the breakout rooms?
No.
Okay. Technical difficulties here. My apologies, everyone. Let's do this as quickly as we can. All right. Okay, so what we can do is go ahead and mention all the breakout room options while we get this sorted out. That was a great suggestion there.
Okay, so breakout room number 1, if you want to go to accounting and business, in the chat, type that in the chat for Mr. Spratling. Breakout room number 2 is cybersecurity and information technology. So just type that in the chat. Breakout room number 3, education. Breakout room number 4, medical and office administration with Ms. McKenzie. Breakout room number 5 is information in Spanish with Dr. Vega. And then everyone else is university transfer, and you just need to stay in this session. It was easier than trying to move you. So I'll go back over those again very quickly. First is accounting and business administration, cybersecurity and information technology, education, number 3. Number 4 is medical office administration. Number 5 is information in Spanish. And university transfer.
All right. And let me make sure I put the department heads in there. All right. The Spanish version is in which breakout room?
Is in number 5.
Okay. All right. And we've got, you're staying here. And the breakout room for office administration is
4.
4. All right. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right. Ms. Ketchum.
3.
Room 3. Okay. Colin. For math and engineering, that is room.
It's they just remain here as well.
Transfer.
Okay.
Transfer.
All right. Any other room leaders, department heads?
I think you've got it. You just need to go take care of your folks.
All right. We still have some that want to go. The university transfer is all staying here. So thanks everyone for mentioning that. University transfer. All right. All right. I'm just checking a couple more. 1. Two. Already in. Okay. All right. It looks like we might have it all sorted out. I saw that some were able to figure out how to self-assign. So that's a good thing. Okay. All right. I think we might be good to go. All right. Thanks everyone for your patience.
Thanks, everyone. We'll get started with university transfer. And really what this next chunk is a little bit of information and then a chance for you to ask questions. So first of all, I want to remind you that our university transfer coordinator is Dr. Shirley, and he could not be here today. And there is his information. So if you need help and you've got your cell phone, take a lovely picture here. I also wanted to let you know that we have a variety of programs, but one of them is an honors program. And some of the benefits to our students are recognition on your transcript, an opportunity to do research, participate in functions and conferences, give you a competitive edge when you're applying to those universities, and then some faculty mentorship. If you are interested in that program, you can contact John Nethery. He is also the contact for Sigma Psi, which is our psychology sociology club. And if you want to apply, you do have to apply for the honors program. If you would like to apply, you go to our main webpage, you search university transfer, and you just type in honors program, and it pops right up. So there's that. And then one of the things I wanted to just mention to you today is academic advising is crucial when you're working in university transfer in any of our degrees. And it's just little nuances and things that you need to know. For example, if you want to be a math major, they're probably going to start you in classes that are math 171 and 151. If you're going to be a history major, I would say, no, I don't think you need math 171. You need to take statistics. So little things like that will matter as you go through your degree. And we want you to work closely with your academic advisor, because what we will do is ask you some really clear-cut questions. What do you want to major in, or where do you want to go? And some universities have some little quirks, and we'll work you through those. But we encourage you to reach out to your advisor and spend some time talking to them and making sure that you know what it is you need to do as you go through. And then what I'm going to do is actually just take questions, and Ms. Conlon is going to help me with the question box. So, and the chat box. So are there just questions you would like to know about university transfer or any of the degrees?
We are still getting questions about, excuse me, about where to go this afternoon. Mr. Hardison has put in the chat box some directions. So you're going to enter the second drive entrance off the interstate. University transfer will be in the main lobby of the main building. So come in using the covered bridge walkway by the flagpoles. Okay, and that's all we have so far. Will I be able to meet my teachers this afternoon?
Not all of them. It is summer school basically, and there are probably about 40 of us on campus, and not all of us will be at the function this afternoon. So there's just going to be a few people who will walk you around. They can probably answer some questions, but we will not all be there, no.
When can I apply for the honors program?
You can do that at any time. You just do it online. And if you have questions, you can contact Mr. Nethery. But the application is an online one. So just anytime you choose.
Okay. If I do not plan on transferring, can I still get an associate's in arts?
Of course, we would love to have you.
If we are university transferred, do we need to choose which program, for example, Pirate Promise, or can we choose that later?
You can choose that later. We do have transfer articulation agreements. So there is Spartan Passage for UNCG. There's Pirate Promise for East Carolina. There is C3, which is with NC State. There's a whole list of articulation agreements. And that's one of the reasons we want you to connect with your advisor, and they can connect you to the right advisor if you're interested. But if you don't know today, that's fine. If you want to wait, that's fine. I would say that after your first year here, one of the things you want to do is pick a place to go so that you can truly make good decisions. Now, We do have an agreement with our North Carolina universities. You'll hear the term UGETC, and those are a list of courses that are guaranteed to transfer. And it is a straight transfer. And as long as you take those courses, you're going to be fine as you transfer, and you can make that decision later.
Several more questions. How do we find out who our advisors are?
Okay, you can do that through self-service. And Ms. Ketchum gave you some directions. And I can't look on self-service and show you. And I can't log on self-service and show you because I'm a teacher and I don't have your account. But if you log on self-service, it'll give you that information. Just click around. You can't kill anything. So just click around till you find it. It's easy, I promise.
Okay, if we have in-person classes, will I need a parking pass? And if so, how do I go about obtaining one?
You will want to do two things this fall. You will want to make sure you get a parking pass and that you get your student ID. And you can do both of those things online. Go to public safety in that quick links. And when you go to public safety, you'll be prompted to enter, I think it's the make and the model of your car. To my knowledge, there's no cost for the parking pass. It's just a hanging tag, but we want you to have it. That way, if heaven forbid somebody dings your car, they can find you and, help you resolve that issue. Your student ID is valuable, and there are some places that actually give you discounts. I know you can get into Old Salem for free if you're interested in touring the historic site. And so they're all discounts across town. You actually upload a picture into our system, and then you do have to pick that up on campus in person, but I do recommend you get the student ID.
Okay. Do you have to sign up for university transfer now?
When you apply, it asks what degree that you want. And so you probably have checked something. And I would say you need to just pick something. In this case, I would say university transfer, and the basic thing would be the AA, the Associate of Arts. And then you can change that later. Basically, it's a hard question to answer. If you want to be in engineering and you know that today in your heart, then I would make sure and work on that particular degree. If you're unsure, I would say the AA degree. Anybody want to help me with that one? They're really silent, aren't they? Okay, next question.
All right. Someone asked about their Math 171 course requiring one of the 4 MyLab options. I think they're referring to the bookstore, what's listed on the bookstore website, and asking how do I know which one I should get. So for those math classes, you're probably looking at access codes for MyMathLab. There are 18-week options and 24-month options for the bookstore. The 18-week option is good if you're just going to take Math 171 and then stop. If you plan to take Math 172, which is our trig course, then you want to get the 24-month option. There are also there are 2 of those options that have books attached to them. So you can buy just the access code, which will always come with an ebook, or you can buy an access code plus a physical textbook. And you are welcome to email me, send me a message if you need more information on the math books. Okay. All right. Next question. What do we do if we want to change from Associate of Arts to Associate of Science, or vice versa?
It is called a change of student information form. You can use the search engine on our website and it will pop right up. And you need to fill that form out. It does have to have a signature, but what you can do is use your phone. I don't know if you've done it, but you can actually download a little app that allows you to take a picture and it transfers it into a PDF, and you can send that in and email that in, and you just do a change of information.
Okay. When we decide where we want to go, do we apply after we are done with our classes at ACC, or do we apply
You'll apply probably the semester before you want to go. And so it really depends on the university. They have transfer admission dates. And so you'll need to look at that and meet their deadlines, but usually it's the semester before you go.
Okay. How do we find out what courses will be automatically transferred?
One guarantee, if you look at our catalog, is there is a statement that says it meets the comprehensive articulation agreement. But I'll give you an easy example. Ancient history. It is going to transfer into a history department. It is not a core class. So it's an elective. And so let's say you want to go into engineering. They might not take it because they might need you to take calculus 2 as opposed to my ancient history. So as long as you take from the UGETSI courses and your advisor can answer this question for you, your classes will transfer. It is only when you get up in some of our electives that there might be some wiggle room. Okay.
Okay. Someone asked, will we be able to get the student ID and parking pass at orientation today? And again, they're doing those online. So you'll need to go to that public safety part of the website in order to get the student ID and the parking pass.
And I'll add to that you have to upload your photograph and they print it like a driver's license. So it takes a day or two.
Do you need a student ID card to check out books from the library?
It is, from my understanding, also your library card. So yes, you do.
Right, we have lots of questions in here. All right. I might want to take sociology this fall, but when I look on self-service to find when it is offered, I only see stuff for spring semester. Is sociology offered this fall? Is it in person and what time?
Yes, it is. There is a totally seated class and there is a hybrid class and there is an online class. And so it is offered. Unfortunately, hang on, maybe I can. See if anything happens. I can tell you when and where. Maybe. What you may need to do when you look for classes is to make sure you search by the correct semester. I have that problem too all the time, simply because the system will revert to what the semester that we are currently in. So we'd be in the summer, or in your case, it might just show spring. So we have a live via Zoom class, an EL section that is Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10:10 to 11:05. We have a hybrid class, meaning it meets one day a week in person on Tuesdays at 9:30. We have a Thursday at 9:30 hybrid class, and we have a fully seated class that meets Tuesday, Thursdays at 11:15. So we do have several of those open. And if you need help, you can email me, or you can, I hate to say in the chat box because I may not see it since I'm presenting, but you can give your email to Ms. Conlon and I can help you after the break.
And I will say, I don't know why, but in self-service, sometimes some classes I've noticed have been listed twice. So like you might be seeing sociology just for the spring, but if you scroll down, there should be another place where you can click on, sociology 210, and it'll list all the fall classes. Okay. All right, Mr. Hardison and Ms. Brownell have been busy in the chat answering questions, so I think we've gotten everything. But please feel free to keep typing in your questions in case we missed you. Okay, nothing else so far. Okay, what is an average number of classes to be taken a semester?
The minimum number to be a full-time student is 12 credit hours. However, if you want to stay on a path to graduate in a timely manner, 15 is the appropriate number. And I'm going to hit do not disturb on my phone because I forgot to ahead of time. Okay, so next, anybody?
No
I
other
did-
questions.
I did forget to mention that most of you will probably be enrolled in College Transfer Success, which is a 2-hour course, or it's a 1 credit hour course, and you meet twice a week. And that course is designed to help answer a lot of your questions and help you pick a major. So I want to encourage you to take that course seriously and spend a little time exploring what it is that you want to do. And I want to thank Mr. Hardison, Ms. Conlon, and Ms. Brownell for helping in the chat today. It has been a busy chat day. Sometimes people don't ask any questions, and then sometimes, wow, I'd rather have questions. Anything else?
No,
Ms. Singer, if I can just, there were some messages earlier at the start, people asking about logging in. Just a reminder that your campus login for your campus email, Moodle, and self-service are all the same. So once you get that set up, you're good to go on those.
All right, folks, we are actually finished. I cannot shut the session down because of the breakout rooms. So you are free to go, and we will probably begin putting you into the waiting room. So unless you have any further questions, we're going to slowly end this.
Gonna stop recording now.